The RX 6700 XT is rumoured to launch sometime in March 2021. It's also rumoured to be similar in performance to an RTX 3060 Ti with a similar price. However, it will have 12GB of VRAM over the RTX 3060 Ti's 8GB. The links for everything in the video will be in the description, and if you click on them and buy through them, it'll help the channel out. Also, please consider subscribing as it makes me want to do future videos. Thanks. For the processor, I chose an i5-10400F, as at the moment it's cheaper to get this than the Ryzen 5 3600 and performs similar to it in gaming. Very few motherboards seem to be in stock at the moment on Amazon in the UK and many of the stores, so if you find any of these motherboards that I show, there are 3 of them, in stock for similar price to what's on screen, then just pick any of them. It doesn't really matter which one's probably the cheapest would work best. All of them have the basic needs for PC, and they will have an M.2 slot for faster storage, and they all support 2933 MHz for the RAM, which you can overclock from 2666 with the 3000 MHz RAM that I'm going to show in a bit. They don't have Wi-Fi, so you'll need to spend the extra £10 to buy a Wi-Fi adapter. The RAM is 3000 MHz, 16GB of RAM from Oloy, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, for £73. It's a good deal. I haven't heard of the brand, but after looking through some reviews, they seem like the RAM modules last a long time and they perform well. Next is a 600 watt 80 plus white power supply. It's reasonably cheap. You could go with a 80 plus bronze or gold, something a bit more efficient, but this will support the PC as the RX 6700 XT and the i5-10400F, as the RX 6700 XT has a TDP of 200 watts. For storage, a 1TB hard drive will be enough to store large files and games that you don't use regularly, but if you wanted more, you could go with like 2TB or even 4TB. Depends on how much storage you need. Next is a 500GB SATA SSD. This is much cheaper than any NVMe SSDs and is still much faster than a hard drive. You can store Windows on this, meaning that your hard drive won't be spinning around constantly just trying to do tasks by Windows, and this you can store your main files and games that you prefer. This case is different to the one that I normally recommend, because the one that I normally recommend is fine for lower end PC builds as they don't require as many cables and it's not great for cable management. But as this is an RX 6700 XT and an i5-10400F, instead I'm recommending this, which comes with 3 fans RGB, so you won't need to buy any more. It fits the motherboard and it has some cable management at the bottom where you can just stuff all your cables so you don't need to see them. If you don't want to stick with the Intel stock cooler, then you can buy this for £30, which will keep your CPU a bit cooler, but you still won't be able to overclock it as it is a locked CPU.